What if I told you that the citizenship of millions of children born in America could soon be questioned? Yes, even kids who were born right here, on U.S. soil, could find their status under threat. Shocking? It should be, because newly leaked documents revealed Donald Trump's plan to enforce an order that challenges birthright citizenship as we know it. For over 150 years, the 14th Amendment has protected the right of anyone born in the United States to be recognized as an American citizen, no questions asked. But these documents suggest that this protection may no longer be guaranteed. The plan reportedly lays out how to strip away automatic citizenship from children born to non-citizen parents. Imagine what that could mean for millions of immigrant families who have built their entire lives on the promise of that constitutional right. Picture this. Parents who have worked tirelessly to give their children a better future suddenly facing the possibility that their kids might not be recognized as Americans. No social security number, no passport, no guarantee of the opportunities they were promised. This is not just a legal issue, it's a life-changing shift that could affect generations. And here's where it gets even more intense. Experts warn that if this order is enforced, it could trigger years of legal battles, divide families, and rewrite the future of immigration in the United States. It's a move that many say could fundamentally alter what it means to be an American. So, what's really in these documents? How serious is this plan? And what does it mean for you and your loved ones? I'm breaking it all down in this video. What's fact, what's speculation, and what actions you can take right now to stay prepared. Before we dive deep, smash that like button. It tells YouTube this topic matters and helps other immigrant families get the information they desperately need. All right, let's dive straight into what these documents actually reveal, because the details are eye-opening and, for many families, downright terrifying. According to the reports, these internal memos and planning papers outline a strategy that would allow a president to bypass Congress and directly challenge the 14th Amendment through an executive order. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't the 14th Amendment part of the Constitution? Can a president really just sign a paper and change that? That's exactly the kind of question millions of immigrants are asking right now. And the truth is, it's complicated, because while an executive order can't directly rewrite the Constitution, it can reinterpret how certain laws are enforced, which can lead to massive changes in practice while the courts decide if it's constitutional or not. The documents suggest that this plan was being carefully developed behind the scenes during Trump's previous time in office, and it's now resurfacing as he gears up for another potential term. They reportedly include legal arguments claiming that the 14th Amendment has been misunderstood for over a century and that its protections should only apply to children of parents who are themselves legally in the country. This interpretation flies in the face of decades of legal precedent, but it's clear that the intention here is to force the issue into the courts, possibly even the Supreme Court, to get a new ruling that limits birthright citizenship. If successful, it wouldn't just affect babies born after the order, it could open the door to questioning the citizenship of those who were born in the past under the current interpretation of the law. Think about how scary that is. Families who've been here for years, who have kids in school, who've paid taxes, who have built lives in the United States, could suddenly find themselves caught in a whirlwind of uncertainty. Parents might have to prove their own legal status just to confirm their child's citizenship. College students who've lived here their whole lives might face questions about whether they can receive federal aid or even hold a U.S. passport. This isn't just some theoretical legal debate, it's something that could impact real people, real families, in very real and painful ways. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much, not just legally, but emotionally. For many immigrant families, the promise of America is built on the idea that if your child is born here, they have a secure future. That belief drives parents to make incredible sacrifices, to work multiple jobs, to endure hardships, all with the hope that their children will have opportunities they never had. To suddenly be told that this promise might be taken away? It's heartbreaking. It shakes the very foundation of what America stands for. It's also worth looking at the bigger picture. This isn't happening in isolation. Immigration has been a central issue in American politics for years, and policies have swung dramatically depending on who's in power. For immigrants, this means living with uncertainty, never knowing when the rules might change. It's exhausting, it's stressful, and it's why staying informed is so important. Because knowledge is power, and the more you understand what's happening, the better prepared you'll be to respond. Now, let's address something else the documents suggest. There may also be a push to limit citizenship rights in other ways, such as tightening rules around passports, social security, and federal benefits. This means that even if your child's citizenship is not directly revoked, they could still face obstacles when trying to access things that most Americans take for granted. Imagine a teenager who was born here suddenly being told they need extra proof to get a driver's license or apply for college. Imagine the fear of being asked to prove something you've always believed was unquestionable, your right to belong in the only country you've ever known. So, where does this leave you and your family? First, don't panic, but do pay attention. The plan is not law yet, and there's a long road between a leaked document and a real, enforceable policy. Court challenges would likely drag on for years, and immigrant rights organizations are already preparing to fight back. There are countless advocacy groups, legal teams, and community leaders ready to stand up for the rights of immigrant families. You're not alone in this, and there are people working every day to protect the principles that make this country what it is. I also want to say this: your voice matters. Policies like this thrive when people feel powerless or too afraid to speak out. But the truth is, sharing your story, staying informed, and supporting organizations that fight for immigrant rights can make a difference. Every like, every share, every conversation you have about this issue spreads awareness and builds strength in the community. The more people know what's at stake, the harder it becomes for any policy to quietly take away fundamental rights. And let's not forget the political side of this. Decisions like these are influenced by who's in office, by who's making the laws, and by who's sitting on the courts. If you're eligible to vote, or if you know someone who is, these are the kinds of issues that should drive you to the polls. Because at the end of the day, the people we elect have the power to protect or threaten the rights of millions. Before we wrap this up, let's take a moment to reflect on what's really at stake here. This isn't just about legal definitions or political power. It's about families. It's about children who deserve to feel safe and secure in the country they call home. It's about parents who have sacrificed everything for their kids, only to have that future thrown into doubt. This fight is deeply personal for so many people, and it deserves our full attention. So, as this story continues to unfold, I promise to keep you updated every step of the way. There's a lot more to uncover, and we'll be watching closely to see how this plays out in the courts, in Congress, and across the country. You deserve to know the truth, and together, we can make sure the truth is heard loud and clear. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about this plan? Do you think it could really happen? Or do you believe the courts will shut it down? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this is a conversation we need to have as a community. And one more thing, if you found this video helpful, if you believe more immigrant families need to know what's going on, smash that like button right now. It helps this video reach more people who need this information, and it tells me that you want more updates just like this. Stay strong, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.